Good Tuesday evening, March 18th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Wenatchee drivers should expect delays with a temporary lane restriction in place at the intersection of 5th Street and North Miller Street. 23 nonprofits will each get a cut of $127,000 in grant money from the Methow Valley Fund. More wet weather is expected tomorrow and once again on Friday. Your full local weather forecast is straight ahead. The Chelan-Douglas Board of Health on Monday adopted a code of ethics governing its members. The 12-point document requires the 12 appointees to the board to avoid conflicts of interest, acknowledge the board's collective decisions, and uphold the community's trust, among other measures. The board, which manages the Chelan-Douglas Health District, began debating a code of ethics after video surfaced last year that showed board member Bill Sullivan confronting a member of the public who accused Sullivan of assaulting him. Sullivan was also a co-signer of a community letter that suggested the agency could be sued over its COVID-19 pandemic policies. All board members must sign the policy, which warns that violations could result in censure or sanctions. The vote to pass the ethics policy was unanimous. The small airport that serves one of Douglas County's smallest cities is now up for sale. Our media partner, the Wenatchee World, reports the Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority agreed last month to surplus the Mansfield Airport, offering it up for sale at a list price of just over $313,000. The port has owned the 23-acre airfield since 1995. It now wants the city of Mansfield to fully annex the airport into its corporate limits to prepare for a sale. Small aircraft pilots who use the Mansfield Airport say it serves a crucial function despite its size, and selling it to a private party might impede any future economic growth in the area. Wenatchee drivers should expect delays with a temporary lane restriction in place at the intersection of 5th Street and North Miller Street while city crews repair a 24-inch water main. According to city staff engineer Jacob Bussey, the water main has exhibited some issues and crews installed a temporary fix last year. However, now it's time for a more permanent replacement. Bussey gave no estimation as to when the roadway would be reopened, but said it shouldn't be long since crews commenced work late Monday night. The wearing of the green was encouraged Monday night at Wenatchee's annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. Billed since 1981 as the world's shortest parade, the march traveled just one block down Orondo Avenue from Mission Street to Wenatchee Avenue. The whole procession took just a few minutes. Every year, there are some surprises. This year, one married couple, Brian Higgins and Sarah Cornell, renewed their marriage vows right in the middle of the parade. The designated Grand Marshal was billionaire and presidential advisor Elon Musk. But just like every Grand Marshal picked for the parade before him, Musk did not show up to carry the baton. Instead, Wenatchee Mayor Mike Poyer and East Wenatchee Mayor Gerald Crawford were the de facto parade leaders. When we come back, Douglas County residents are invited to an open house to learn more about the county's 2046 comprehensive plan. And Washington Senator Patty Murray joined state lawmakers Monday in Olympia, warning that Medicaid funding is at risk under budget plans put forward by Republicans in Congress. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. contact us to learn more.
Merry Maids can clean your entire home, business, or vacation rental from top to bottom, inside and out. Merry Maids will even take care of cleaning your carpets, and they can pressure wash your home. Merry Maids has thousands of happy customers. They've been cleaning homes and businesses in our valley for over 25 years. Check out their glowing reviews at merrymaidesofwenatchee.com and call the cleaning experts, Merry Maids, to get your free estimate. Your satisfaction is guaranteed, so relax. It's done.
Douglas County residents are invited to an open house to learn more about the county's 2046 comprehensive plan. The 20-year document will be used by elected officials and local government staff to guide growth in land development. Douglas County says it's required to develop a comprehensive plan that meets a list of goals like protecting agriculture and providing for all levels of housing under the state's Growth Management Act. The open house will be held at the Waterville Town Hall on Locust Street and invites people to have conversations with county staff and project consultants. The event begins at 2 p.m. and a presentation will begin at 4:15 p.m. 23 nonprofits will each get a cut of $127,000 in grant money from the Methow Valley Fund. The nonprofits were either awarded $4,000 or $9,000 to support core operations, which include different educational efforts and community gathering. Home Range Wildlife Research and the Methow Valley Community Center are two of the 7 nonprofits that were awarded $9,000. Among the 17 grantees who were awarded $4,000 are Methow Pride, Classroom in Bloom, and Methow Valley Riding Unlimited. The Methow Valley Fund is run by the Community Foundation of North Central Washington and is supported by donations from the Methow Valley residents. Washington Senator Patty Murray joined state lawmakers on Monday in Olympia, warning that Medicaid funding is at risk under budget plans put forward by Republicans in Congress. The high-ranking Senate Democrat says GOP cuts would make health care in the state harder for many people to access. Murray News fellow Albert James filed this report from the Capitol.
Make no mistake, Medicaid saves lives.
Democratic Senator Patty Murray says Republicans in the U.S. House are teeing up cuts to federal funding for Medicaid. With over $12 billion given to Washington for Medicaid in 2023, Murray says cuts would make healthcare harder to access, whether it be rural hospitals and clinics closing, seniors not getting home care, or people with disabilities not getting services they need to be independent. The senator says Republicans are eyeing Medicaid cuts to give tax breaks to billionaires.
We cannot let Republicans charge ahead on deep and painful cuts to Medicaid just to line the pockets of the richest people in the world.
Congressional Republicans have said they do not want to make cuts to Medicaid, but health policy group KFF reports cuts are the only way to follow the budget blueprint set out by House Republicans last month, with Medicare cuts off the table.
Everyone deserves to have a quality of life, to work and live in their own home in the community. Please do not make cuts to Medicaid. These cuts would be very harmful to myself and those like me.
Cuts to Medicaid could have great impacts on state spending at a time when lawmakers are trying to tackle a multi-billion-dollar budget shortfall. The State House Speaker has reportedly said funding cuts to Medicaid could force legislators into a special session.
It would rip a hole in the budget and would make it so we have to face extremely difficult decisions, like keeping rural hospitals open. And then as those rural hospitals close or those services are cut, that pressure again gets put on the urban areas.
Earlier in the afternoon, dozens of people gathered at the Capitol to rally for new taxes on wealthy businesses and people as a way to close the state's budget gap. They say the ever-changing situation around federal funding underscores the need for new sources of revenue to support vital state services.
With the uncertainty of Medicaid, we can't see other programs go wayside. We need to stand up for our healthcare systems. We need to stand up for our healthcare providers and really make sure that we're funding the things that we need to in our state.
In Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
Coming up next, the Leavenworth Mountain Film Festival was a going concern for 7 years prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now organizers are bringing it back after a hiatus of nearly 5 years. We'll have more on that coming up in tonight's feature story. More wet weather is headed our way over the next few days, including mountain snow. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here. Oh. I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
It's the National RV Show at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Moses Lake, March 13th to the 23rd. Check out the enormous selection of both new and used RVs, motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels, with huge incentives, 0 down and no payments for 90 days. Top manufacturers are coming from across the country, like Winnebago, Holiday Rambler, Forest River, Thor, Flagstaff, Grand Design RV, and more. And enter to win $30,000 or a new RV. Get $3,000 over NADA for your trade, paid for or not. So come on down to the National RV Show at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Moses Lake, March 13th to the 23rd.
The TBL season continues for the Wenatchee Bighorns, and NCWLIFE channel is back with more coverage. Watch the Bighorns take on the Vancouver Volcanoes on Thursday, March 20th at W.B. Smith Gym on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College. Grant Olson and Jamie Council are courtside with all the action. Watch Bighorns basketball on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
The Leavenworth Mountain Film Festival was a going concern for 7 years prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now organizers are bringing it back after a hiatus of nearly 5 years. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE's Dan Kuntz spoke with filmmaker and coordinator Jamie Howell about the outdoor-themed screening event, which happens this Saturday, March 22nd at the Leavenworth Fest Hall.
So Shane Wilder of Icicle TV up in Leavenworth kind of kicked this thing off, and it ran 7 years in a row, and it was growing pretty substantially. We filled up the Fest Hall every year and had all kinds of fun, like the free limo rides and red carpets, and so it was pretty sad when 2020 we had to pull the plug. Literally we were ready to launch it because
COVID came right when the festival
yeah, because it was going to be
right?
in April, and then it was March when COVID really hit. So pulled the plug very suddenly. After a couple of years, everybody was really wished it was back, and so I think we got the message. The chamber stepped up and said, "Hey, what do you guys think about bringing this back?" And they put some financial backing behind it that made it possible for us to hit the ground running again. We will have films from all over the world in this film festival, but the ones we really cherish are the ones that come from right here. And so they're not always a lot of films, not enough coming out of this region every year to put on a film festival just with that. But those are the ones we really want to show. Those are the ones we love showing at the Leavenworth Mountain Film Festival. It's just a one-night festival, about 2 hours with some halftime entertainment, which is kind of rare for a film festival. But yeah, so we're looking for films that are anywhere from 2 minutes to 15 minutes. It's really about the storytelling. We have access to the technology now to do great things, without spending a whole lot of money. But really what makes the difference is how good are you at conveying that emotion, conveying that message? And so that's what makes a really strong film.
Somebody who's never made a film, but they say, I think I want to take a shot at it. Give me some tips. You talk about the most important thing is to be able to tell a coherent story. And you can, if you don't have a good screenplay and you don't have a good story to tell and storyboards to reflect what you want to do in the final product, you got to start with the story.
Yeah, filmmaking is a kind of a time-consuming process. You all know here from doing broadcast work, it's there's a lot of collecting footage, which is probably the most fun part, right? You're out in the woods, you're out, doing something great and filming it. The hard part is then coming back and sorting through all of that footage you've gotten and piecing together something that, is exciting and brings the emotions that you were experiencing outside. So that's really, I think it takes a lot of patience. I mean, you've got to listen to yourself. I think you've got to listen to those shots that really kind of make you go, wow. Those are the shots. Take that shot.
Great cinematography and special effects and everything is great to a certain extent, but you can't rely on all of that stuff in order to get your message across.
Well, and especially when it's more of a documentary form, right? If it's a scripted form, that's different, right? You have time to set everything up and make sure, the Bob Dylan picture is situated just right? In a documentary setting, when you're out filming somebody, skiing, you don't know really what's going to happen, and you're just running and gunning, right? Doing the best you can to get the best footage you can, and so happy accidents happen, and sometimes the footage is terrible.
But any kind of film, as long as it's outdoor related, it can be submitted. It could be a documentary, it could be a standalone 10-minute story.
Absolutely.
With a scripted story, it doesn't matter.
It could be, that's right. Yeah, absolutely could be a scripted piece about outdoor recreation. We haven't had many of those. Most of them, sports films are usually about real people doing real things, but there are definitely some commercial efforts out there. You'll see big brands putting out some pretty awesome scripted films, short films as commercials that are really kind of worth watching. And in fact, I think we'll have one or two in the film festival this year.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Tuesday. Wasn't bad out there today, but for the fourth day in a row, pretty breezy out there all across North Central Washington. Beautiful shot looking up north at our Billy Goat Tower camera, and it's overlooking, of course, where the Methow River joins the Columbia. There's Pateros and there's Brewster kind of in the middle of your screen. Kind of the weather that we had here in the Wenatchee Valley today, a mix of clouds and sun, also plenty breezy up that way too. And as we make our way into the middle of the week, we've got snow to contend with in the mountain passes, and that includes both Stevens and Snoqualmie Pass. As we move into Wednesday night, you can see 6 to 8 inches for Stevens Pass, 4 to 6 inches possible in Snoqualmie. Could even see some up north around the Twisp, Winthrop area, and that's Wednesday into Thursday morning. So be careful. You're going to see some winter driving conditions. We're not done with winter yet. 2 more days, first day of spring. Today's high temperature, 51 degrees. Our normal for this time of year is 53. And what a beautiful record. Do you remember it? Last year, our record high of 70 degrees. 36 this morning, 34 is our normal low for this time of year, and our record cold, 21, and that was set in 1965. Sunrise, 7:07 this morning and sets tonight at 7:11. Taking a look at your Wednesday temperatures, we are going to see a cool down as an area of low pressure and troughiness moves in the Pacific Northwest. I'll show you that in a second. 51 for Moses Lake tomorrow. Ephrata also at 51, almost 50 in Quincy, and then a lot cooler back west. Wenatchee, Aniat, Chelan, and up into Omak, only in the mid-40s for highs. Cool spot Lake Wenatchee tomorrow with a high only of 42 degrees. Taking a look at what we can expect tonight. Partly cloudy skies, still a ridge of high pressure over most of the western U.S., but look at the size of this storm system that's ready to move onshore. Lots of rain associated with that. Could see some wind in western Washington. Lows for us overnight tonight, a little chilly at around 30 degrees. And then for Wednesday, here comes that storm. A 60% chance of rain, and especially as we get into our evening hours, some snow is possible in the Cascades. It will be cooler tomorrow with high temperatures below normal in the mid-40s. And then for your first day of spring on Thursday, mostly cloudy skies, a 30% chance of rain. The good news for Thursday, we will warm up at least back closer to normal with highs in the low 50s. For your Friday, here comes the next round of storminess. Cloudy skies, an 80% chance of rain, especially in the afternoon and evening. Least will stay about normal as far as temperatures go, in the low 50s for Friday. And then for the upcoming weekend, notice an area of high pressure to our south, creating another ridge of high pressure for Saturday. We could still see mostly cloudy skies. High temperatures will remain pretty much in those low 50s as we kick off our next weekend. And then by Sunday, cloudy skies. We are seeing just a dip of a trough of low pressure in Canada. That'll drag a weak cold front through on Sunday, bringing us just a 50-50 chance for rain. But look at that, high temperatures to end our weekend into the mid-50s. And wait until you see Monday. Partly cloudy skies, 2 areas of high pressure keeping our weather stable as we get you into Monday. Partly cloudy with high temperatures. That's right, into the low 60s. So we're in for a warm-up as we get about a week away. Tonight, 30 degrees our overnight low. Rain is likely tomorrow, especially in the evening. It's more of a scattered rain situation for your Thursday, first day of spring, and 51. Rain likely again as we get you into Friday and 51. And then things get a little better for the weekend. Mostly cloudy and 52 Saturday. About a 50-50 chance for rain on Sunday and warmer at 54. But boy, talk about warmer. Look at Monday. Partly cloudy skies with a high temperature then of 62 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station based right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Be sure to tune in for coverage of local sports. Once again, this spring we'll bring you Prep Boys soccer, baseball, and softball. In addition, we're adding Wenatchee Bighorn basketball in March, April, and May. It's all right here on the NCWLIFE channel, our Facebook and YouTube pages, as well as our website at ncwlife.com.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel. And a good Tuesday to you. The Gonzaga Bulldogs fell to St. Mary's twice during the regular season and were an underdog to the Gales in the West Coast Conference tournaments. The Bulldogs came out on top to counter all doubters. Gonzaga was drawn as an 8th seed for the NCAA men's basketball tournament Sunday. Coach Mark Few says fans and supporters have become too accustomed to Gonzaga being in the tournament, reminding them that any team selected has to earn their spot.
But hey, for us to be in Salt Lake, and I think they rewarded us for us going out and playing people in the non-conference. And look, I say this every year, it's just such a blessing to be involved in this thing. And, you know, I think not maybe you people, but everybody has a tendency to take it for granted. I get people running up to me, just can't wait for March Madness. You know, they're telling me that in July, and I'm just like, no, you got to earn your way into that. You don't just get it. So, and obviously there were times this year when it didn't seem like it might happen. So hopefully that was a good kind of way to get us back level and set, to really, really appreciate moments like this and to be involved in, I think, the greatest sporting event there is, and you know, and then another thing I always say, and then the matchup pops up, and you're like, oh boy, and then stomach starts going, and obviously this is a really a team that's won a lot of games and plays a really interesting style. They're going to climb up into us, and you know, got a lot of quickness and a lot of talent. So it'll be an interesting challenge, and probably something a lot different than what we've faced all year.
After falling to St. Mary's on their home floor February 22nd, Coach Few told his team that one loss does not make a season and that the future is still bright.
I've told them this numerous times this year. Everything's still in front of you. Everything that we're all about and all we really, really want and care about is still in front of us. And the reason it's in front of it now is because you guys did what I just described. I mean, you you got it done. You know, you put us in position where we could drop a game in the conference tournament. And I think there was a good stretch this season where nobody thought that was even possible. And so you deserve all the credit for that. So don't be hanging your head. And just told them, you know, we didn't do what we've been doing prior to that game. And so it's kind of an anomaly, and let's correct it and go out and get ready to roll.
Gonzaga will face Georgia in the first round of the men's NCAA tournament Thursday at 4:35 p.m. That will be on TBS. Well, for the first time since the 2016-17 season, the Washington women's basketball team will play in the NCAA tournament. The Huskies were selected as an 11th seed during Selection Sunday and will play Columbia in the first four Thursday. The game will tip at 4 p.m. Pacific on the North Carolina campus, with a game broadcast on ESPN2. Haley Van Lith has helped TCU return to the NCAA women's basketball tournament for the first time since 2010. In fact, TCU will host the first two rounds of the tournament play at Schollmeyer Arena for the first time in school history. TCU, a second seed, will face 15th-seeded Fairleigh Dickinson at 12:30 Friday afternoon on ESPN2. Van Lith will be reunited with her former coach, Jeff Walz, at Louisville, who also will play in Fort Worth against Nebraska in the first round on Friday. The winners of the first two games will meet on Sunday, so Haley could be playing her former team on Sunday. How about that? Well, the Athletics walked off against the Mariners yesterday in Cactus League Baseball. 7-6 was the final. Cal Raleigh hit his second home run of the spring, and Luke Raley did what he could to help Seattle both at the plate and in the field.
Randy Rosa due up next. The pitch, swing, and a well-hit ball deep into right field. Butler going back, looking up at the track, the wall. Goodbye, baseball. Onto the berm in right field. It bounces into the bullpen for the A's. Cal Raleigh at pitch number 11. His second home run of the spring. It's a one-run game. It's now the A's 5 and the Mariners 4. Top of the 8th, 5-4 A's. The stretch and the pitch. Luke swinging a drive into the gap in right center field. That's down for a base hit. Extra bases. Ronnie third, heading home. Randy Rosarena. The throw into second, not in time. Luke Raley head first slide in the bag with an RBI double, ties the game.
Here comes the 1-0. Swung on. That is crushed to center field. Back is Raley. He's at the track. He's at the wall. Makes a leap at the wall, and he makes the catch. An incredible catch by Luke Raley at the wall. Runners hold as Raley reels it in. What a great play.
Hit that warning track, timed it perfectly at the top of the wall to make an outstanding catch.
Hitting room in right center, and it's on the way. And Muncy, a line drive left center for a base hit. The A's are going to win the game. Perez around third to score easily on a game-winning line drive base hit to left center by Max Muncy. The A's walk it off, and they beat the Mariners on St. Patrick's Day in the Cactus League by the final of 7-6.
Seattle was back in Peoria today to face the Brewers and will host the Rangers tomorrow at 1:10. Seattle Kraken are on the road tonight in NHL play. Seattle's in Chicago to face the Blackhawks at the United Center. The game broadcast on Kong TV. 4 games are on the prep baseball schedule for today. The Wenatchee Panthers are on the road in Ephrata to take on the Tigers. Quincy is playing at Warden. Brewster's hosting Cashmere, and Waterville Mansfield is playing at Cascade. Fast pitch softball today. Oroville visits Tonasket. Wenatchee plays host to Ephrata. Cashmere travels to Brewster, while Waterville Mansfield is playing at Cascade. And prep boys soccer today and tonight. Okanagan is hosting Brewster. Wenatchee's on the road in the Spokane area playing Meade. Ephrata is hosting Bridgeport. Chelan's at Quincy. Liberty Bell plays a visit to Omak. Moses Lake is on the road at Othello. That will kick off tonight at 7 o'clock. Well, the Wenatchee Wild have 2 more games left in the WHL schedule this week following their annual awards banquet tonight at the Town Toyota Center. Wenatchee will visit Everett on Friday night at 7:05 and then return home Saturday for one final game against the Silvertips in the Wolves' Den. That will drop the puck at 6. You can get tickets for that final game of the season, WenatcheeWildHockey.com. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.
NCWLIFE's news team is keeping an eye on North Central Washington. Join us each weekday evening at 5, 6, and 10 for the NCWLIFE Evening News, with interviews, in-depth reporting, and the kind of insights you can't find anywhere else. We're the hometown news station for the Wenatchee Valley, the Cascade Foothills, and up and down the Columbia River. Thanks for watching NCWLIFE, proud to be part of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival.